कलशं दधर्णवाद्य पीयूषपूर्ण ममरात्वकृते सुराणां रोग्जालजीर्ण जनता जनित प्रशंसो धन्वन्तरि च भगवान् भविकाय भूयात्. Thanks for joining. We would like to welcome you all on our journey of 437th mile. Independent Research Ethics Society's Ayush Samriddhi International Webinar Series. Thanks for joining. Today's subject is very unique because in 50% of the India, Janmashtami is being celebrated today, and where the concept is there, the birth of Lord Sri Krishna took place in the night. So which tithi is dominant in the night, that is being celebrated. In the half of India, Janmashtami is celebrated today, and in half of India, it will be tomorrow, but in the form of Gokulotsav or Nandotsav. So I would like to congratulate you all, communicate my best wishes on Janmashtami. May Lord Sri Krishna bless us all with health, happiness, success, and prosperity. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I am in Indore, just reached Indore, touched the ground of Indore, and now going to hotel. So I would like to request you, our respected Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji, for his initial welcome address. And one more thing, before Sharma ji, I would like to communicate sincere thanks to my team that on my travel they are supported well. Then also IT department is working on that. If this link is disconnected, kindly rejoin, because next link from 6:40 is also being issued now, and in the meantime our IT team will definitely take care. So I am thankful to my team, Momita Sharma, Dr. Parikshit Devnath, and Preeti Banerjee. So thank you, Raji, thank you VP Sharma ji, thank you Agnihotri sir. लेकिन आज जो आप लोगों ने आशीर्वाद दिया है, जय हो जय हो जय हो, आप सबकी जय हो. Today is very unique subject. Affrin Zaman is from Guwahati, and Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji, I am grateful to him that he has recommended and introduced. And our second speaker is our great resource person, great guide and mentor, Professor V.K. Agnihotri sir. Respected CV Jha sir, pranam. Now,
Namaskar.
Welcome, Vishnu Prasad Sharma. Respected Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji. कहाँ गए सर? मैं होटल में चेक इन हो जाऊं, तब तक संभालो परीक्षित. Please take care. Here traffic noise is much more than my words.
Not online.
So I request Agnihotri sir for it, and then CV Jha sir, and then Affrin Zaman sir. Zaman madam. Welcome.
I think Professor VP Sharma ji is here.
So please invite.
Yes. Namaskar. As per the instructions of Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma ji.
Humble request, sir, no instruction.
Anyway, it's our affection each other. We can use such good terms amongst us. So at the very beginning of today's webinar, which is numbering as 437th, we are here again to meet and enjoy. So as we understand that today is the day which has become most and most pious with the great Lord Krishna's incarnation day. Of course, it was midnight, but the same confusion as Mathuravasi says it is Ashtami, and Gokulvasi on next morning, Lord Krishna were taken there. So they got the information on the next day. So in this way, all the way, every year we celebrate Janmashtami on first day and second day. So all the good wishes and greetings of Janmashtami. May Lord Krishna take care of all of us and bless us and make our life comfortable, fruitful, and we remain in his service. This is what we can say, make a well wishes. So, as per today's topic, we are here on fasting to rejuvenate. So, in this connection, we have got a very important guest speaker, Dr. Affrin from JORHAT. So, not only him, I welcome right from Professor C.B. Chal Sir Guruji to all the big dignitaries who have joined by now to this today's webinars platform and will join with the due course of time. We welcome you all, and we welcome especially Dr. Affrin for her guest speech today, thinking the view that in what way the importance of fasting along with its effect in the terms of rejuvenation. It is a great exercise, and we do hope that the whole of the speech will establish the fact that it is always helpful to get everybody rejuvenated with by observing the fasting, the ways and means, the tools, the material, the food stuff, the drinks, or the dry fruits, or nothing. These are all a great scope for excluding or including in the case of fasting. I think the speaker will make it more and more clear. So with this regards, I
Vishnu
welcome
Prasad
all.
Sharma ji joined, sir.
Yes, sir. So I invite Professor V.P. Sharma ji to please make the formal welcome address to today's webinars platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So V.P. Sharma ji. Yes, sir. Professor V.P. Sharma ji, you have joined?
Sir, I think again Sharma sir is.
He might be having some internet connection problem.
I'm having some technical problem.
Right.
So I think we should start with the first guest speaker.
Right. Yeah.
Later we'll continue with Sharma sir.
You please invite formally to the first speaker, and meanwhile we will take the well wishes of Professor V.P. Sharma sir as and when he will be available.
Okay. So I will welcome all to our 437 Ayush Samriddhi International Conference Series. Today's topic is, as Professor Agnihotri sir has already told, fasting to rejuvenate. It's a very important topic in our nowadays society. So regarding this, I'll welcome our first guest speaker today, Dr. Begum Affrin Zaman. She is Assistant Professor, Department of Physiotherapy, Assam Women's University, JORHAT. Ma'am, are you there?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Stage is yours, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Namaskar to all of you. And I myself, as my introduction has been given shortly, myself, I am Dr. Affrin. I am an assistant professor working in the Department of Physiotherapy of Assam Women's University. So I am privileged and thankful for offering me this platform to give a brief talk on today's topic. That is, the topic for today is fasting and how it helps in rejuvenating our souls and body. So I would like to start my topic. I'm just sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all of you present here.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Just make it full screen.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it's okay now.
Okay, okay. So today's topic is fasting to rejuvenate. First and foremost, I am to speak on this topic, though it is a very well-known topic or a word, fasting. Everybody in our day-to-day life, we are accustomed to this word in various aspects of our life. Sometimes on health aspect, sometimes on religious aspect, and sometimes we are knowingly or unknowingly on the merge of fasting, as and on when our body demands. And today's topic here, I am just going to brief out about the various physiological effects, how fasting helps us in our body, and indirectly or directly, because most of us in our layman's language, we are not aware how that it also rejuvenates. It helps in rejuvenating our entire system. Okay. So here, the first introduction of the word, as most of us might know, that it has came down from an English word that is fasten, that means to fast, observe. See, fasting doesn't only mean to not have food. It also obeys specific disciplines of life. Strictness, as it has said, strictness means we have to have control in all our emotions, in our urges, to control ourselves and to retain ourselves from food. In Sanskrit, the word vrat means determination, which is also associated with being strictness. That is rigidity we should be able to build in oneself. That is, then we should have determination. We should be determined enough. And upavasa. Upavasa means near to God. Means it is an approach through which we are nearing to God. So fasting, it is the nature's oldest, most effective, and yet it is least expensive method of treating diseases. It is a complete voluntary abstinence from taking any kind of food for a definite period of time. So it might depend. Yes, it is nature's oldest way to heal our system or to treat a disease which is going on inside our body. Especially specific systems are mostly affected due to the food habits which we have, which we continue, or knowingly, unknowingly, we could have sometimes taken toxic products along with our healthy food. At that time, we, as I had said in the beginning of the topic only, that we might knowingly or unknowingly are all a part in our day-to-day life. We tend to do fasting. We just restrain ourselves from food. So formally, if we come to know, if we know the beneficial effects, yes, of course, we can go for its regular adaptation. After knowing the benefits, we can incorporate in our lives. So a fast may be total or partial, concerning that from which one fasts, and may be prolonged or intermittent as to the period of fasting. How much period we are restraining ourselves from food, from taking anything as a part of our daily routine, as we all have normal food habits. So it might depend. It might be a prolonged one or it might be an intermittent one. It might vary. But some way or the other, fasting in any form, it definitely helps in the rejuvenating of the entire body system of the human life. So fasting is an important treatment modality for health preservation. This is very, very important. Though we are, to some extent, we are known, but to the layman's life, it is totally, or sometimes it is in our modern lifestyle, we are ignorant of the fact that in health preservation also, fasting plays a very vital role. So according to naturopathy, when one fasts, the disease is not cured directly. Instead, the body is given an opportunity to heal on its own. So all of us know from as we are from specific discipline, from related to health sciences, we are well aware of the fact that we are, each one of us in our human body, we have got our own immune system, our own antibodies, own strength, or own defense mechanism, which works against the various attacks or the diseases which occurs in a human body. But yes, when fasting is incorporated in the daily life of a human body, when we incorporate fasting, Maybe it might, if we start fasting once a week, we make it a mandate one, or like alternate days, or fasting on basis of religion, which is done by people unknowingly, but they do it on religious ground, then that period of time, that particular span of fasting, it gives opportunity to the entire human body to heal. It will not directly prove, it has not been proved directly through various studies that directly immediate effects we get, but yes, of course, we get a phase to heal the system, the various anomalies which are occurring in the human body. So first and foremost, it is very much important for us to know the physiological effects, how it works, how does it help in rejuvenating. The word, as we have already came across the brief introduction of fasting, the introduction for rejuvenation, if I haven't mentioned specifically in theory, just because of the fact, because rejuvenating cannot be explained in terms of substance. We cannot say it rejuvenating. We have to understand rejuvenating in the sense it indicates not only rejuvenating of the body or the system or a specific organ, but of the entire human body along with the mind and the soul. So first and foremost, we have to understand how fasting helps. What does it do inside our body that it will lead to rejuvenation? So increased insulin sensitivity in the body that results in reduced plasma glucose and insulin concentration, improve glucose tolerance. So for diabetic cases. So nowadays, diabetes, as all of us know, it is one of the most prevalent disease of the country. We Indians are very much affected. So in that case also, fasting plays a very vital role. So next is reduced level of oxidative stress. Oxidative mechanism which occurs inside the body. Metabolic and oxidative reactions happen in the biochemical level of the body. So their oxidative stress level is reduced by fasting. So increased resistance to various types of stress, including heat, oxidative, and metabolic stresses. And as a result, the immune function is improved, enhanced. So when the immune function is improved or enhanced, we can definitely conclude that the body will be less prone to any kind of infection or disease. So in the meantime, when the immune system is developed, it becomes strong, definitely we will be a step away from becoming more prone to any kind of diseases. So next is both gross and cellular physiology is profoundly affected by caloric restriction or intermittent fasting regime. So if I go in deep, like we are accustomed, a few of us, because of our studies, or we are accustomed because of our daily life practice, there are various regimes. Nowadays, many new terms have also came up regarding therapeutic fasting. So we have got various regimes, okay? So regimes in the sense that we have various protocols for fasting. General fasting, as we all know, some juice which incorporates inclusion of water, juice, excluding the solid, fruits, vegetables, juices, like that. And therapeutic fasting, there are many kinds. But whatever kind we are incorporating or type we are incorporating, the regimens which we are using, all of them, they work on reducing the intake of calorie. That means whenever we go for fasting, definitely we are resisting the intake of fluid. We're restricting the intake of food. So whenever we are going for restrictions, definitely the calorie intake is minimized. It is reduced. So either way, it is affected by calorie restriction or by intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is another aspect, that is fasting. Yes, we are going for fasting, but intermittent way. That is, there is breakage of the fasting after a certain specific period of time. A period is set in which we need to break the fast. We have to take intake, and then we have to continue the fast. That is intermittent fasting. So in both ways, we are going to have changes in the cellular physiology. That means the physiology, the normal functioning of the cells in the body, which are continuously working. That means starting from the cellular level, the effect is seen. So significant reduction in body fat and mass, which supports a healthy cardiovascular system and reduces incidence of myocardial infarction. So myself, I'm a cardiac physiotherapist by specialization. So here we also recommend to a large extent the food regime, the modifications of food plans. The dietary modification plays a very, very important role in case of cardiovascular diseases, especially in case of MIs. MI patients, they are resultants of infarcts. Infarcts means blockage. It occurs, infarcts, myocardial infarctions. So whenever there is a block in the artery, it is most of the time, it is a resultant of an atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis is ultimately what? It is a deposit, it is hardening of the plaques, of the deposits. So there the main cause, underlying cause remains with the level of the lipids in the body, the level of the cholesterol in the body. So ultimately, these levels can be reduced to a great extent by restricting the food intake, the modifications of the food habits.
Sorry for interruption, madam. Just a sec.
Yes.
It is an important announcement.
Yes.
If this meeting ends in 10 minutes,
Okay.
new link has been issued. Please join with that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry for interruption.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, I was speaking about myocardial infarction. That is a disease, a major heart disease, and the functioning of the cardiovascular system, and the role of fasting in it. And in this aspect, I would like to also mention that cardiovascular disease is yet another, as I had said about diabetes also. It is another emerging disease which is affecting the Indian population to a great extent. Not only, actually, now I can mention this as an emerging one for the Indian population and not the of globally, because globally it was already prevalent. It was already much of in a higher rate. It was the incidence of cardiovascular diseases in the Western countries for the sedentary lifestyle, for their work habits. It was there, but in India, it was not much prevalent. Since a few years back, we are also becoming more prone to cardiovascular diseases affecting our cardiovascular system. We are most of the time, in our population, we come to find high level of cholesterol, high level of lipids. Lipid profile is high, cholesterol is high, ultimately leading to blockage. Percentage of blockage is high, go for CABG. If it is beyond control, then the person is very much prone to heart attack. MI is a result. So there also, it is very, very important to reduce the body fat and mass. So there again, fasting plays a very, very significant role. And provided it should be planned, definitely it should be planned with proper dietary advice, and so that it gives maximum benefit to the person who is incorporating the method of fasting for defense. So next, during fasting, what happens actually? Building of new and healthy cells are speeded up. So this is another aspect of benefit which we get from fasting. So building up of new and healthy cells, all of us know from our fields of practice that new cells are continuously produced in the body. Every cell has got a durability, a lifespan. They die and new cells are generated and produced in every hour. So this process of building of new cells and healthy cells is also speeded up by fasting. So this aspect of benefit, physiological effect, plays a very important role in cancer, in the treatment of cancer. When a person is having cancer, a person has developed cancer, the person at the same time is undergoing treatment for cancerous cells, for killing the cancerous cells, to stop their spread. At the same time, we also need to generate, our body also needs to generate healthy cells for the replacement of those poisonous cells. In that process also, fasting helps a lot. So next is capacity of the eliminative organs is greatly increased as they are relieved of the burden of the digestive food. So this is another aspect in which we get the benefit of fasting to a great extent. Then able to quickly expel all accumulated waste and toxins. So fasting is a very strong process, you can say, or we can say it's a maneuver, you can say, or we can say it's a it's a system which helps to eliminate all the accumulated waste in different systems of the body. Once a person fasts, in that period of fasting, the toxic products or unnecessary accumulated products which are produced in the entire physiology during the physiological functions of the various systems of the body, when they get accumulated, fasting is a very good process in which, through which we can expel those unnecessary products which are inside our body in a less span of time. So fasting provides a physiological rest to the digestive, assimilative, and protective organs. These organs are given rest. Definitely when we give a restriction to our diet, we stop taking food, definitely there will be a physiological rest in their functions. So as a result, the digestion of food and the utilization of nutrients is greatly improved after fasting. So once a rest is provided to the various organs which are responsible for digestion and protection, the excretion of the various juices, the production of the various juices which takes place in the digestive system, those entire processes, they are hugely affected by the process of fasting. After fasting, after the completion of the fasting, those processes, they function, they show or they give a functional level of their own to a great extent. Next, the fast also gives a normalizing, stabilizing, and rejuvenating effect on all the vital physiological, nervous, and mental function. As I had said in the beginning of the talk, that yes, rejuvenate. We cannot just materialize and we just cannot define rejuvenation in crude words. So definitely it involves the mental functions, how affected we are, how we are getting into the healing process that can be expressed by the mental function of an individual. So it also normalizes, stabilizes, and gives a rejuvenating effect, definitely first and foremost to the physiological functions of the body and the system responsible for digestion. Then the nervous systems, definitely, because nervous system is such a system which is connected to each and every system of the body. So once we are content, once the other systems are content, they are functioning properly, they are relaxed, definitely the nervous system is going to be okay. And the mental functions, as I had said, definitely if the entire process of fasting implies or promotes relaxation, definitely the mental functions will be at the very productive mode. So next we have the mode of action. I would just like to highlight this mode of action. How does it function? It's quite related to the physiological effects. How does fasting affects? During a long fast, the body feeds upon its reserve. So it might come. So fasting people say, and like if we go for just a layman approach instead of a technical approach or medical point of view or our stuff from our knowledge point of view, if a layman says yes, fasting, yes, it's very like it's we are giving trouble to our own body. If we don't take anything, how we are going to survive? Our body is going to get effect? No, absolutely no. Because during that period of time, if it is a long fast or whatever the period of time is, at that particular time, the period of time, our body is not at hunger. It's not actually, it's our mind, it's in our brains. It has gone into our system that we need to have food, this much amount of food, that much amount of food at that period of time. And also it has gone into our own biological clock. It is not that our body demands for it, because the body has its own reserves in our body. We have got various organs responsible that stores energy. All of us are well aware of the ATP-PCR cycle. Then all what we have reserves. Who are the energy storers? We have those. They are the reserves which helps us and our body during the period of fasting. So during a long fast, the body feeds up its reserve. So it burns and digests its own tissues by the process of autolysis. All of us are quite aware of that. But the body will first burn tissues which are diseased, damaged, or dead. Yes, of course, there is burning of tissues, but not of the healthy tissues. The tissues and the cells which are diseased, damaged, or dead, that are useless, those tissues will get burned first. That means eliminating of unnecessary and toxic materials which are present in our body. Definitely, that will give a beneficial effect to the entire human body. So the essential tissues and vital organs, the nervous system and the brain, are not damaged or digested in fasting. This is a very important and to be known fact for all of us. Because most of the time, in layman's language, people think it the other way around, but it is not the fact. This is the secret of the effectiveness of fasting as a curative and a rejuvenating method. The few points which I had just stated, justifies the curative aspect, because once we start fasting, during the period of fasting, the body first burns the tissues which are diseased. They are toxic for our body, damaged, they are no more used, dead, they are all waste. So these tissues are burned first and they are eliminated first. So definitely it is the curative aspect of fasting. And rejuvenate. Definitely it rejuvenates by promoting relaxation, and the mental functions are also improved. So the physiological effects are already, I have highlighted, I have talked about. So now we have known till now what is fasting, how does it help. So now the topic today for our discussion is of importance. Only, yes, fasting is beneficial, fasting is good, fasting we have known, but yes, if it is able to cure a disease, then we are to give additional interest to this word. So first of all, that we should know how does a disease occurs, because once we know the root cause of a disease, how it develops, then if we find that yes, fasting also has a role in that, it also promotes in healing, it also promotes or it also accelerates the healing process, the curing process, definitely we should go for it. So first and foremost here, we should know how a disease starts. The common cause of all diseases is accumulation of waste matter in body due to, number one, overeating. Yes, of course, this is the most common cause. Then sedentary lifestyle. So sedentary lifestyle, again, if we think that yes, people who don't work and they lie in their beds, they stay in a sedentary manner in their home. Yes, it is correct to some extent. Previously, it was correct 100%, but now we can't say that we people who are working, where we jobs are not in a sedentary lifestyle. Because in sedentary lifestyle, it also means, yes, we are working, our brains are working, our hands are working, we are working in the laptops, we are sitting on a chair, and we are using our brains continuously. But our body is not moving much. That also comes under a category of sedentary lifestyle we are incorporating. Sitting 24/7, lying down 24/7 without much of physical activity also leads to accumulation of more body weight, more fats leading to more body weight. Ultimately, some or the other kind of disease is going to get developed due to less functioning, less utility as per our intake, which we take on a regular basis. So this is a second point. Then no utilization, which I just said now, no utilization. These overburdens the digestive system with impurities or toxins or poisons in whatever way we take it. So there will be accumulation, overburdening. The digestive system is getting and getting and getting, but things are not getting used. So this will overburden the digestive system. As a result, digestion and elimination becomes slow, and activities of the entire system gets diminished. So it is quite evident here that because of all these factors, the digestion process will get slow, and elimination of what? The waste products becomes slow, and activities of the entire system of the body gets de-enriched. So this leads to onset of disease. It can be any form, it can be in any form, in any system. Because once the de-arrangement in the system occurs, it might represent itself in various forms. So this will lead to a beginning or a start of a disease. Every disease can be healed by one remedy. Yes, every disease, if we say, so it might come to our mind that, yes, how can we treat all disease in the same way or with one remedy? One medicine can't work for all. But yes, the principle is the same. That is doing the opposite of the cause. Means what is the cause? If we determine the cause of that particular disease, definitely if we work against that, the cause, the remedy is in our hands. So that is reducing the food intake or fasting. That is depriving the body of food for a time. Organs are given opportunities to expel the accumulated waste from the system in this way. Therefore, we can conclude that fasting is the process of purification of the body. An effective method to repair and regenerate the various tissues of the body. A process that assists nature in its effort to expel waste from the body. So this is very, very important, though it's very minute or it's a very simple term, it might come to our eyes or it might come to our mind right now. It's a process that assists nature. It is not something artificially we need to take this much of intake or this much of food or this much of medicines or this should be our regime. No, fasting is something which we can do on our own by resisting ourselves and restricting ourselves from various food habits or various food intakes which we have already made or incorporated in our day-to-day life. So it is a process that assists nature. It happens naturally when we give sufficient amount of time to the system of our body. So next, just a brief about the various types and classifications. Yes, of course, we can't conclude. I can't bring all the types of various fasting regimes and various types of fasting that has been developed nowadays. With recent years, they have come up with various other methods also, regimes also. But yes, briefly, we can conclude with this. According to the duration which we are incorporating fasting, we can categorize it into 3 categories. One is short, intermittent, and long. Short, we say it to be short till 5 days. Intermittent, on and off. Of course, there we cannot hold any number of days. Then long, if it is more than 10 days, we can term it to be long fasting. So based on method of fasting also, we can categorize them. One is dry fasting. Next is water or juice fasting. And the third is fruit or mono diet, mini diets, small intakes at intervals fasting. A fast may be total or partial. It can be of 2 types. It's not that it's total abstinence. It might be partial abstinence also. In fasting, first and foremost, the most important component for fasting to get the maximum benefit from a fasting, the essential component first and foremost is mental preparedness. That is very, very necessary. Because yes, if we are determined, definitely our mind will be stable. Our habits will be able to control. We'll be able to control our emotions, and definitely we can carry the fast. We can incorporate the fast in a peaceful manner. Definitely, there will be no hindrance mentally. Specifically, we have to say mentally, because in case of fasting, mental preparedness, if it is not there, definitely if there is no physical hindrance, definitely there will be mental hindrance in continuing the process of fasting. So next, if we speak about what kind of fasting will help in case of disease, I thought of keeping my interest to diseases, because as I'm a therapist. We also always go for cure. We always go for remedies. So yes, of course, to know more in detail, definitely there are various platforms, of course. But for us, I felt from my aspect that yes, at least for disease, in various kinds of diseases, as we have came to know in the few previous slides, in the few previous discussions, that yes, it heals diseases. It plays a huge role in curing. So I have stick to diseases. In acute diseases, briefing out in acute diseases, what can be done in a simpler manner. We can start off. And in chronic diseases, how can we start off? So in acute diseases, when the disease is acute and the vital power is high, of course, fasting is recommended. Otherwise, yes, in long fasting is contraindicated in case of chronic illness. Because in any kind of disease, if it is in acute form, definitely the person's or the individual, the patient's vital powers, vital capacity, the vitals of the body will not get much deteriorated as in comparison to a person who is having a chronic disease. So when the disease is acute and the vital power is high enough, we can recommend fasting. Fast till the disease or the symptoms subsides. We can just keep in mind this. In case of acute diseases, if we incorporate fasting, we can continue till the disease subsides or the symptoms which are very much provoked or very much evident in that particular disease, they are minimized or subsides. Or we can say, or we can consider another point for a termination of fasting or stopping the practice of fasting is until feeling of lightness. Lightness means, in this sense, again, as the word I had said in the beginning regarding rejuvenating, we cannot conclude in a crude word, the meaning of the sense of the word rejuvenate. Of course, rejuvenation is something which we can achieve only if we are in the best of our health. So until the feeling of lightness, there is no heaviness, there is no sense of any emotion or any state of mind which is giving us a feeling of heaviness. As of course, as for example, we can consider if a person is in pain, if a person is in discomfort, definitely those are negative terms and they will lead to the feeling of heaviness. So just the opposite of it, until the feeling of lightness. Next is breaking the fast in a proper way. It's very, very important. That is eliminated soothing and constructive diet. That will depend from person to person. I can't just put forward or conclude a diet that this diet should be adapted in case of fasting in acute diseases, because it might vary from person to person, from disease to disease, and yes, from age to age. That is another factor, because fasting can also we should incorporate from children. It is not that only adults can go for fasting. In children also, it helps to a great extent in their physical status. So next, in chronic diseases, long fastings are contraindicated due to low vital energy, and short fasts with proper intervals. It is very, very specifically mentioned. And in whatever review I had done for this particular talk, or the knowledge from where I had gained, short fast, yes, of course, not long duration, it should be contraindicated with proper intervals, so that it should not have, or it will never have any adverse effect on the system of the person who is already having a chronic disease in the body. Next, positive diets in between fasting. It should be incorporated. So these are just a brief, conclusive points we can capture and we can keep in mind, and we can go forward in case of fasting when we think in the aspect of treating and curing diseases. Next, I have concluded the methods of fasting. These methods of fasting can be in various regimes, in different forms of regimes, in different forms of protocols, in different forms of prescriptions. But yes, with what content we are going for fasting, on that aspect, I have concluded the three main broad we can conclude with based on what we take during fasting. One is water, one is juices, and the other is raw vegetable juices. The juice fasting is far superior than water fasting. Instead of fasting by taking only water, if we go for juice fasting, it is best. And yes, of course, here I would like to mention one more point. Lime juice fasting has also been proved through studies that it is one of the best fasting methods, which has given many benefits to the human body in various age groups. Yes, provided there are considerations which needs to be considered at the time of fasting regarding the digestive system, how it responds, or else we can conclude that this is one of the fasting which has given much benefits to the human body. So in case of juice fasting, there are a few points which we should just keep in mind and keep into consideration. During fasting, the body burns up and excretes huge amount of accumulated waste, which I have already highlighted in my previous talks. We can help this cleansing process by drinking alkaline juice, not acidic, definitely. Alkaline juice instead of water. So that will add on, that will accelerate the excretion process of the waste products accumulated in the body. So elimination of uric acid and other acids will be accelerated. By this, sugaring juices will strengthen the health. That is another brownie point we can say, that sugar, if we add in juices, yes, of course, there are considerations. If we are going for a diabetic patient, if we are going it, then definitely we have to keep those highlighted points to be considered in case of the diet of the person on fasting. Or else, yes, sugar, when we add to juices, it will strengthen the heart. It boosts up the cardiovascular system. Next, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and trace elements in fresh raw vegetables and fruit juices are extremely beneficial in normalizing all the body processes. Those are all natural ways. Yes, of course, as I have just said, in fresh raw vegetables and fruit juices. In case of juice fasting, when we go for it, we have to be very particular that we go for fasting only by the use of fresh fruits, not of the cane fruits or like packet fruits. Those have additional elements in them. So definitely these are the other way. To some extent, they will have some kind of detrimental effects. So supply essential elements for the body's own healing activity and cell regeneration. That is the normal physiology is helped, it is boosted up. So juice fasting is one we can opt for. Besides going for specialized therapeutic fasting, there are various protocols and various methods, but the simplest way we can understand is that it promotes a lot of beneficial effects to the human body if we go for fasting with juices, that also from raw fruits and vegetables. So the duration if we go for, as I had mentioned in a few points previously, it depends. We cannot be so stagnant. It depends from person to person, the disease for which we are fasting, the age of the person. Then the duration is important because long period of fasting can be dangerous. As I had just mentioned, in case of chronic diseases, we can't go for long fasting. So it will depend what kind of disease we are treating, or for what kind of disease, or what is the reason we are going for fasting. The period, however, should not exceed a week of total fasting at a time. That is, this statement is given based on the normal physiology of the body. So it should not exceed in a continuous manner. Total fasting should not be done more than a week. It is advisable to undertake a series of short fasts of 2 to 3 days. It is beneficial, it is advisable. Instead of carrying a long fast, if we take short fast of 2 to 3 days, in a series manner, then definitely it is going to it is going to show the beneficial effects of it in the various systems of the body. And gradually we should increase the duration, because adaptation is another factor in case of the human body. Adaptation, yes, it is a process. It starts from the cellular level. In the cells, we have got cellular adaptations. There are various processes of cellular adaptations in which the cells adapt itself to the changing environment of the human body. So we can increase the duration provided we have started off with short duration fasting sessions in series. Then we can go for increasing the sessions. This will help the body to gradually and slowly eliminate waste matter without seriously affecting the functioning of the body. Without giving any adverse effect to the body, this will help to eliminate the waste matter without any seriously affecting the functioning of the body. a correct mode of living and a balanced diet affect the fast will restore vigor and vitality to the individual, definitely. So complete emptying of the bowel at the beginning of the fast by enema to control gas or decomposition matter formed. When fasting is done, specifically this point is mentioned with the view of treating a disease. When we go for treatment and fasting is a part of it, then before starting the process of fasting, the method of fasting, we should empty the bowel completely, so that there is no side effects or side contributing factor from the other sources on fasting and its effects on the body, which it is going to get in due course. So enemas at least every alternate day during the fasting period should be used. Then lot of energy is spent during the fast in the process of eliminating accumulated toxic waste material. So get enough physical rest and mental rest as possible during the fast. So a person is recommended to be at rest if a person is fasting. That rest, if we say, it doesn't indicate only physical rest. It also implies mental rest. That is very, very essential component during fasting to get the maximum benefit from fasting. The craving for food will gradually decrease as the fast progresses. This is due to the physiological adaptation of the human body. Stop eating until the appetite returns or until one feels completely well. So this is another postulate we can consider, which we should follow. Simple exercises like short walk may be undertaken during the fast instead of any vigorous activity or vigorous exercise. A warm water or neutral bath may be taken during the period. Definitely a warm water or neutral bath. All of us know it promotes relaxation, rejuvenation. So during fasting, we should incorporate it in our routine during the period of fasting to get those healing effects, the feeling of relaxation, rejuvenation, both mentally and physically. Cold baths are not at all advisable. Here, cold baths are not advisable because of the fact it stimulates, it excites the neurons, the nervous systems. The nervous system, the various aspects of the nervous system, we all know about the benefits of heat and cold. So benefits, pros and cons, we know about heat and cold. So obviously when a person go for a cold bath, definitely it is not promoting relaxation. So sun and air baths should be taken daily during the period of fasting. So next, we should know, yes, we are fasting, but when should we stop it, eliminate it? Before our stipulated time, if we are required to, when we should stop it? First, if there is formation of gas. This is the most common cause if the fasting is not done in a proper manner, like proper manner in the sense regarding the diet, regarding the process, regarding the progress of fasting, how we started. If there is alteration, or if there is like when we go for fasting, suddenly if a person starts, there is alteration, there is physiological alteration in the human body, which might lead to formation of gas. Then at that particular time, we should understand that yes, now we should stop it. We should not progress it because it will have adverse effect on the system. Then cotton mouth appearance. Cotton mouth appearance, it's a specific appearance of the human face. So if that appearance comes, the person is not fit, the person is not flush, not lively, the person is not well acquainted, the person is not well aware, then we should stop it. If we make it from the face of the person. Bad breath or foul smell, foul breath, bad breath, this is another sign of malfunctioning of the digestive system. So if we get that, we need to stop it. Coated tongue, this is another sign of the digestive system. If we have coated tongue, in the tongue, if we have a hair or coat, if we start finding that we have developed coated tongue, we should stop it. Elevated body temperature. We all know fever is a symptom, it is not a disease. Yes, fever is a symptom of any kind of abnormality which is happening inside the body. It is indicative that something is wrong. So if we have increased body temperature, we should eliminate it. Next is headache, fatigue, dizziness, irritation. If these kind of among these like this type of physical symptoms, if we have, immediately we should terminate. Afterwards, burst of energy, stimulation, and lightness. This is another point in which we should go for termination or elimination of fasting. So breaking a fast, we should keep in mind a few cardinal points. The right food after fast is as important and decisive as the fast itself for proper result. This is very, very important. So while a person is fasting, as we are so much conscious what we should eat, what we should not eat, how much time we should not eat, what fluid we should take, the role that plays in all these factors is equally important at the time of termination also. How we are going to end it, what are we going to take it at the end of the fast, because that again plays a huge role in the effect of the fast in the entire system of the body. So the main rules for breaking the fast are, first and foremost, do not overeat. Overeating is strictly prohibited. Eat slowly and chew your food. Chewing, the food habits are very, very important. Chewing of food is very, very important because it plays a very vital role in digestion of the food. So eating slowly is important. Chewing of food is important, and overeating is restricted. Take several days for the gradual change to the normal diet. So abrupt change should not be done, because while fasting, we have adapted to a certain process. The biological process, the physiological process of the body has gone into adaptation with fasting. But when we stop, we end the fast, at that particular point of time, the body is still in that particular phase of fasting. We have to make the physiological functioning adapted to the change. So we have to take few days. It's not that abruptly we try to fix ourselves and our body to the changing routine. So if carefully planned, there will be no discomfort or damage. Of course, take rest during the transition period. As mentioned previously also, during fasting period also, we should try to take physical and mental rest during the entire period. And also in the transition period from fasting to the normal diet, we have to take rest so that the body takes its own time to adapt itself and to get the beneficial effects of the fasting which we are doing. And as a whole, if we are conscious enough, regarding all these factors, definitely then only our body is going to get the maximum benefit of fasting, which will promote relaxation, which will promote regrowth, which will promote the healthy well-being of an individual, along with rejuvenation of the both mind and soul. So this was my brief talk on fasting and how it has got the various aspects on the human body, how it plays its role on the various systems, and how as a whole, in brief, we can understand about the various types of fasting and how we should incorporate in our day-to-day life. Thank you. So am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
clearly. Excellent, madam. You have covered excellently. Beautiful. Very mesmerizing. One means I was listening very carefully. You was in so excellent flow. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
So now I would like to request CV Jasar for comments on Affrin ji, and then I will request our respected Agnihotri ji for his speech. Respected CV Jasar.
Namaskar.
Pranam, sir.
So it was very nice presentation. Madam presented this topic in very detail, all the aspects, physiological, anatomical, and the therapeutic purpose, everything she covered. As we know that Ayurved is standing on the वो कहते हैं ना अग्नि और फास्टिंग लंघन, तो अग्नि को फिर से जिलाने के लिए या सही करने के लिए लंघन बताया गया, और लंघन के और भी सारे इफेक्ट्स बताए गए, यत्किंचित लाघव कर्म देहे, हाँ, तन लंघनम या लघ्वायतम यत तन लंघनम, तो शरीर में लघुता पैदा करे वो लंघन, और उसी को हम सामान्य बोलचाल में उपवास भी कह लेते हैं। और ये जानते हैं कि लंघन का क्या रोल है, वो सारी चीजें मैडम ने कवर किया है, और खास करके रोगों के संदर्भ में तो स्पष्ट कहा कि ये क्या अरे 5 रोग बताए हैं, कुछ समझ नहीं, पंचेते पंचरात्रे रोगा नश्यन्ति लंघनात्, उसमें अक्षि कुक्षि भवा रोगा प्रतिश्याय वर्णात् ज्वरः, अक्षि आंख की डिजीजेस, कुक्षि पेट के डिजीजेस, और प्रतिश्याय व्रण एंड ज्वर, ये इतने डिजीज। अब जबकि हम सभी जानते हैं कि ज्वर आयुर्वेद में एक व्याधि है, महाव्याधि का है, मॉडर्न में उसको एक लक्षण मानते हैं, विभिन्न व्याधियों में होने वाला एक लक्षण, लेकिन अगर हम ज्वर को देखें तो करीब करीब सारे इन्फेक्शस डिजीज को वो कवर करते। तो ज्वर और प्रतिश्याय, फिर व्रण और आंख के रोग और पेट के रोग, इसके बाद फिर हमें नहीं लगता है कि बहुत कुछ बचता है। तो इतनी चीजों को कहा कि पंचेते पंचरात्रेण रोगा नश्यन्ति लंघनात्, ये सब लंघन से नियंत्रित हो जाते हैं, लंघन से नष्ट होते। तो लंघन का रोल है, और रिजुविनेशन में हम सभी जानते हैं कि अग्नि अगर हमारी सामान्य हो गई, और मोस्टली अगर हम सही तरह से खान पान नहीं लेते हैं, रहन सहन हमारा सही नहीं होता है, तो अग्नि हमारी विकृत होती है, मंद होती है, और मंद होने पर सर्वे रोगापि मंदेग्नो, ये सब कहा गया। तो बहुत ही अच्छा और विस्तार से मैडम ने इस विषय को प्रस्तुत किया। मैं खूब खूब अपनी ओर से बधाई देता हूँ, और आगे के वक्ता के लिए आप आगे बढ़ें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे मौका दिया कुछ कहने का। पवन जी।
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, for because his unique concept was there also, because today is Janmashtami, and on Janmashtami, on the occasion of birth of Lord Krishna, Krishna was very fond of butter. So on butter he will also guide us along with the fasting. But I am very fond of butter, makhan, doodh, rabdi, malai. I am from Braj Kshetra. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Pawan Sharma ji. Thank you. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to extend my greetings of the very holy happy birthday of our Lord Shri Krishna as Janmashtami today and tomorrow also. So our respect
Jai Shri Krishna to all.
Jai Krishna. So our respect to our revered Guruji, Professor C.V. Jha sir, and big dignitaries like Professor Vishnu Sharma ji, Rajan Patankar ji, and all the great big guys. I am fortunate enough that the organizers have provided me this opportunity to speak some words on the day of Janmashtami, that too on the topic the fasting and the rejuvenation. So our previous speaker, who has already covered the whole area, I'm in a fix that what should I speak and where should I touch, because all the idea has been covered by Dr. Affrin, and that's true. But as she talked about much more the role and importance of fasting over the certain diseases, she also classified acute and chronic and all that. So being a person of preventive medicine, I would not like to go on that sector. I'll see how it is important as far as the healthy persons are concerned. So with these starting words, first of all, I go for these two words. The first is fasting and the other word is rejuvenation or rejuvenate. So as per the dictionary, fasting in Hindi it is upavas rakhna, and in English, since fasting is the word of English, so it is a verb. It is a gerund, rather it is a gerund word, and that too in the present participle, this fasting. And as per the Sanatan's understanding definition of fasting, to eat no food for a certain time, usually for religious reasons. And for other reasons, other religions like Muslims fast during Ramadans. So fasting is an abstinence from food or drinks or both for health. Rituals, ritualistic, religious or ethical purposes. Thus, abstention may be complete or partial. These are a few words which are helpful for making an understanding regarding the fasting itself. And as far as the second word, rejuvenate, is concerned, because we are taking these two words and we will frame our whole of the speech under these two important terms. So it is very important to make the understanding and meaningfulness of these two words in the very beginning itself. So as far as the rejuvenate is concerned, to make feel or look younger. This is what the sector in which reference we have to talk about the fasting. So either yuva bana dena, or to make someone more look or feel young and energetic again. It means a person was energetic, he because of some reason got some down his or her stamina. So by making or observing a peculiar type of fasting, our approach will be to restore the youthfulness and vigority. This is what the academic approach with these two words, the fasting as well as the rejuvenation. Now, in the terms of the fasting or in upavas, if we say few similar or synonymous words like upvas, brat, sankalp, pratigya, langhan, because this the 8 types of or 10 types of langhan and upvas is described, and the langhan or fasting is one of them. So according to Skanda Purana, upavyatasya papebhyo yastu aso gunai saha upavasasya vigyeyo na sharirasya shoshanam. So the concept is there should not be any sort of such a emaciation from the body. It is just approaching towards the detoxification. Toxins which are accumulated on daily basis, they are supposed to be removed from the body on a regular basis with a say periodicity or with a planning with the weekly, fortnightly, monthly, 6 monthly also. And I would like to highlight a few things which are equally important. The importance of fasting with a special reference to the rejuvenation in vivo as well as in vitro, because some persons are not paying that much attention, but the fact is that importance, that example itself reflects to our human body and health also. So it is equally important in reference to the living being and non-living being. But for the sake of its importance, how it is going to affect the human body in various means, we can say with its etymological derivation or its Shabd Vinyas, Upadhanavas, Upvas, Up mane short, near, deputy, God, Up, and Vas means to be stay there, remain there. Upavishati iti upavasaha. पास में बैठना उपवास कहलाता है, but it does not covering the hidden meaningfulness of it. That means persons or boys were sent to the ashramas of Guruji's place, and they are supposed to be more and more near to the Guruji, observing each and activities of their mentors with the meaningfulness of upavishati iti upvasa. So it is a sort of acharan also. How they will see, they will perform. So it does not mean that it is only observing the fast. It is the matter observing for each and every activity which are pertaining to the noble deeds. The fasting or the restricted taking diet or the diet restrictions and instructions as per the timings is equally important. So it affects in a many ways, like Sharirik concept or studies aspect or the physical aspect, mental aspect, religious importance or religious aspect, spiritual aspect, social aspect, physiological aspect, psychological aspect, economical aspect. And for the economical aspect, we do remember our late Prime Minister Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, who asked to the population of India to observe one day fast just to meet out the food crisis or the food requirement of Indian population way back in 1966. So that was important. So the fasting itself has got a number of things. Do you think that we should wait to become a disease, then go for fast? As the madam was telling that how to manage the diseases by making the fasting. So our approach is that it is not necessarily necessary. Should we wait for disease to observe fast? If we go fasting in a regular manner by the healthy body, very naturally we will not be so frequently the disease person, or we can ward off, or we can keep away the diseases. So fasting is in regular manner itself is very important. It is so convenient to for each and every person that as per his or her choice, capability, management, and need, they can go for any of the part, like Pratah Upvas, the morning fasting, the Ardh Upvas, the midday fasting, the Ekahara Upvas, one time taking diet on any day, or Rasopvas, depending upon the only juice diet throughout the day, or Falupvas, go for the fruits diet. So it is a sort of change in menu, it is a sort of change in diet with the view that the body should take some rest, or the rest to be given to the body on an intermittent method or in a stipulated schedule. And for that, we have got such a great thing that our culture has got so many, different aspect to go for fasting, like tithi ke ansar, according to the tithi of Chandramas, lunar month, bar ke ansar, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that. Then चंद्रमास पक्ष के अनुसार कृष्ण पक्ष उपवास, शुक्ल पक्ष उपवास. देन मास विशेष के अनुसार मीन्स पर्टिकुलर से वैशाख मास या कार्तिक मास, फुल 30 days फास्टिंग विद ए पर्टिकुलर डाइट. और ऋतु विशेष के उपवास, बसंत ऋतु में this is confining to the particular status of our Vat with Kaph with a special reference to our Ayurvedic approach, that during which season, which of the dosha is having its predominancy, and to keep that dosha under control, we can go to restriction of such dietary approach to not allow that particular dosha. In that way, it is also a sort of observing the upvasa. Then again, upvas on special occasions like today, like Janmashtami. So that categorization is still continuing in the terms of the fast mentioned and observed by the Hindus, by the Muslims or Islam religion, by the Sikh religion, by Buddha religion, by Dharma, Jain religion, by Parsi religion. So different religions have already uttered and described different type of fasting by their own religion, and having the same viewpoint that they want to keep their health, the body's health intact, and also enhancement of the mental health status. We have got a particular type of say upvas on daily basis as per the tithi, like Pratipada, the first day of any of the fortnight. We go for the Navratri first fast, or Annukut Pratipada just after the Deepavali. So is the Dutiya Tithi fast like Bhaiya Dooj, Tritiya Tithi fast like Haryali Tej or Haritalika Tej, Chaturthi fast like Ganesh Chaturthi, Panchami fast like Naga Panchami or Basant Panchami, Shashti fast like Hal Shashti or Dala Chat, Saptami fast like Ganga Saptami, Ashtami fast like Durga Ashtami, Gopashtami and our Janmashtami, Navami fasting like Ramanavami, Dasmi fasting like Ganga Dashera, Ekadashi fasting like Nirjala Ekadasi, Devshani Ekadasi and Devothani Ekadasi. Pradosh is falling on every fortnight. So the Pradosh Avakash fast, again Amavasya fast, especially on morning Amavasya, and then Purnima Avakash, especially a few Purnimas like Guru Purnima, Shravani Purnima Rakshavandhan, Sharad Purnima, Kartik Purnima and Magi Purnima. Though we have got the 12 months, but and all those who are regularly observing fast on Purnimas, they go for all the 12 Purnimas. But a few Purnima Tithi are very important, which I uttered just now: Guru Purnima, Shravani Rakshavandhan Purnima, Sharad Purnima, Kartik Purnima, and Magi Purnima. Of course, these are the special dates. Persons are supposed to change the diet, go for fast for full restriction on cereals diet or food stuff, may go for food, fruits, may go for water or juices, or completely avoid these things, especially like the Nirjala Ekadasi or the Haritalika Tej. These are the very of course, Karva Chauth. I am just missed that point. On Chaturthi itself, Karva Chauth is a very important fasting day. Sankash Chaturthi again is a very fasting day. So Chaturthi, see, the factual thing is this, that in India, especially in our Sanatan Dharma, each and every day is very pious as far as the lunar month is concerned, and every day is supposed to have a typical type of or different type of diet, keeping in view that if this will be the case, our body itself will be going through a process of the fasting, as I told, early fasting, midday fasting, day-long fasting, or a 24 hours fasting, like that, with some relaxation. So why it is so? If I say that not only lung and if we want to keep our body healthy, if we want to burn down our calories we are taking, so there may be so many ways. That means as far as the rejuvenation is concerned, we can go, because this is all going to make the body detoxified. So our approach is to detoxify the body. How can we can do it? Like walking, like exercises, by playing, or by fasting. So these are so many tools, or these are so many ways and means we can burn our taken calories, but the fasting is always in between. If even we are working, we are exercising, we are walking, at that very moment we are supposed not to take any diet, so that the taken diet or the taken food stuff is to be burned by that process when we are going through with some of the hectic activities where the calories are supposed to be burned. So calorie burn, which lead ultimately to the fat reduction, which leads ultimately to the weight reduction, and in that manner we can detoxify our body. Now we are going to touch a very important fact where we all will like to agree. See, we are having two-wheelers, four-wheelers, like that, And we are also having so many electrical appliances and so many electronic appliances. In a regular manner, with a manual, whenever we purchase a two-wheeler or four-wheeler, we are strictly asked to go for the regular services. First service, second service, third service, and fourth service on free of cost manner. And then paid services. Why it is so? Just to maintain the status, health status of this vehicle, which is not living, and to detoxify by changing the engine oil, gear oil, brake oil to maintain itself, to rejuvenate it on a regular basis. So we go and we carry our vehicle to the workshop. Why can't we deposit our body to a workshop on a particular day, like the fasting? It's so simple. We also go for AMC, for the extension of warranty, so that the health of our vehicle should be intact. We also observe the say services of washing machine, electronical item, electrical also, microwave, everything. When we are so careful for the maintenance of our non-living activity articles, we are supposed to be, or we are intelligent enough to see that if the toxins are there depositing, to be removed on regular basis. Even then, you see, the water tanks are put with the date that on this date it was filled, on this is the clearance date, on this date after 1 year it is to be discharged. And when our overhead tanks are made clear, they are put on fasting, the main connection is put off so that no drop of water should go inside, made it very clear, completely detoxify, dry it, then we pour or we restart the pouring in the water. So when we are supposed to keep our body healthy with the help of the potable intact water, drinking water, we are also supposed that if at all any damage is happening or responsible ingredients which have entered in the body by virtue of the diet or drinking material, we are supposed to detoxify. So this is what we can see. And if we do this in a regular manner, in a regular basis, very naturally, we will be in position to rejuvenate again and again on each and every, after each and every fast. And we all know, after doing fast or during fast, what happens when we say that we will not go for anna, we will not go for fruit, we will not go for salt, we will not go for milk, say sweet, or we will not go for say water. It is a sort of vow, it is a sort of determination. And you see, when we do it, when we take this determination, spontaneously our mind starts thinking that we have to take nothing today, and for that the remedy is to involve yourself towards the God, towards the puja, towards the rituals, so that you will not allow your mind to think for hunger. This is what, when even Karwa Chauth, even Hartal Ka Tej, how the ladies are especially observing these important days, not taking anything, even a drop of single water. So goes the case with the Ramadan time of say 30 days, though they take after a set particular hours. But the thing is, they involve themselves spiritually. So this is what our mental enhancement of the health. So it also influences our mental status, our psychological status, our religious status, our spirituality. And when we do so, we get ourselves united with the God or goddess. That's why it is told, not only just to rejuvenate it, not only this is the point, to restore the youthfulness and vigority, and to make one. The importance is that to make yourself one or united with the Almighty. So this is also well possible, because when we say that we go for fast, in Indian culture, it is said that on that very day we will be very pious. We will take a proper bath. We will put on purest form of our attire. We will spare minutes for the in the service of God, and then whatever we will take after a say stimulated time, 2 hours, 4 hour, midday, offering whatever the preparation is prepared to the God, and then we take something. So in a form of the prasadam. So ultimately it involves the physical aspect and the mental aspect and it results in the form of the religious, social, spiritual, these things. And if full diet is not taken, very naturally, it is also a saving of the food stuff, which ultimately amounts in the form of the economy. So the sectors which I uttered at early address, we touched those areas. And Professor Jha, as he was telling, that under the definition of Langan, yet kinchit laghav karam dehe tat langanam iti smitham. We feel lightness, we feel easiness. Alas has gone. The accumulation of say vitiated form of shleshma might have gone. So after observing, we feel energetic. Even sometimes persons, especially ladies, gents, whosoever is observing the fast, they become more and more energetic, fast and active to perform activities. While as we all know that fast, observing fast gives us energetic and activity, and after taking diet we get a little bit say lethargic. So food intake leads to letharginess, and not taking food activates us. This is what our body's physiological aspect. So when there will be lightness in the body, by observing the fasting, we each and every cell of our body will get itself stimulated, and the burden of the toxins will be went out through the detoxification process, and we feel ourselves rejuvenated in the terms of the memory, health, body weight, the intensity of hunger, thirst, performance, output, weight, whatever the parameters of a good healthy person are being started getting, and can be observed on a say regular basis of fasting, may it be on weekly basis, fortnight basis, or monthly basis, or 6 monthly basis. Because 6 monthly basis, it is Navdurga. So Navdurga 9 days fasting, regular 9 days fasting falls after 6 months. So it is a long duration fasting, that too for a 6 months duration. That depends. The observer, the performer, the doer is supposed to select any of the say period, type, duration, gap. It all depends upon his or her own. But the special dates, special occasions which are uttered in a form of the special tithi like Janmashtami, Ramnavami, or Navdurga, Navratri, or Hartalika Tej, like that, or Karwa Chauth, or so many pious dates are there which are observed off and on. So in that way, this can be done. So our approach in two ways. The one is the fasting, the observance of fasting, by means one can understand, and the approach or achieving or the achievement of rejuvenation is said to be considered as an output. So as we know that our approach should be result oriented. Our fasting should be so positive and constructive in a manner that fasting must lead to rejuvenation, instead of fasting should not lead to the deficiency or illness or weakness. This is what we are supposed to. So the restriction over the dietary intake in such a manner that it must result in a form of the lightness, firmness, pleasure, enhancement of memory, freshness, alertness, and make the person capable to do more and more by a regular fasting manner. As we know that if we carry our two-wheelers and four-wheelers on a regular interval services, we take or we get better average. So the better average is one of the marker for the health of the two-wheelers, four-wheelers. So the better output of our body in a form of the activity we observed if we go for the fasting in a regular manner. That depends, and that is completely a choice of the observer. So the today's topic with a special reference to the Janmashtami and fasting. Though we all know so many times when the fasting is observed, persons are always there that by observing 4 hours or 6 hours, will I feel some weakness? So let us have a good menu, so that it should be in heavy, it should be in a form of the complex protein molecule, so that it should take time to digest, and or a good input of the fat. So as Dr. Pawan Sharma ji was touching, Lord Krishna in a form of Kanhaiya ji, at a very early life, he was very much fond of makhan. So makhan and mishri, these two things are otherwise, if a person is healthy, are very favorable for the enhancement of the health itself, right from the very beginning, because it all containing the carbohydrate, the natural calcium, phosphorus, milk protein, milk constituents, each and everything is there, and supplementation of mishri itself. So the makhan mishri bhog, or the intake of makhan mishri in the name of, in the memory of Lord Shri Krishna is equally important. So, but in a form of prasadam, not in a heavy quantity. So prasadam is always in a smaller quantity, and the very good understanding is, for prasadam, there's as much you have, you will get the benefit of that, as much you share it, to divide it, to give it from your prasadam part to other persons. So this prasadam is to be distributed within whatever the near and dear is with you, and then take the smallest quantity of that, because none of us are Lord Krishna, none of us are having such a great Vaishnav Agni, so digest the excess quantity of makhan, and we may mislead to the basic importance and concept of langanam if we go for excess quantity of any of the prasadam, may it be makhan for the name of Lord Krishna, or may it be say mishri. So our today's approach is that we are all supposed to celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. May the blessings, the shower of blessings be available all over us on today's pious day of the incarnation of Lord Krishna, as well as the rituals to be performed, but keeping in a view that fasting itself is a worship to God, to make ourselves much more detoxify, and make ourselves much more again and again active, to perform and to surrender ourselves in the service of God. So with these few words, because everybody is busy to involve in other works, I would like to stop ourselves, our speech here itself, by thanking all the organizers, authorities who provided me this occasion, this opportunity to share my views to this international platform. I also greet to my previous first speaker, and those who attended to this webinar online or onto, or will visit our archive in through YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji. Dr. Sharma ji. Dr. Sharma ji, I have completed my address.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. आप बिल्कुल, है ना, इतनी तबीयत खराब के बाद इतने फ्लो में आप बोल लेते हो।
ये आपके आदेश हैं ये तो।
नहीं, प्रार्थना सर, कहाँ आदेश?
मालिक, मैं 11-12 बजे तक देखता रहा कि वो आया नहीं, स्लाइड आज है कि नहीं है। जब पता लगा आ गया तो फिर हमने कहा अपने व्यूअर्स का तुम चले जाओ।
कल मैं ऐसी जगह फंस गया था अनफॉर्चुनेटली सर।
जी,
कल मैं मानसरोवर के गेस्ट हाउस में था।
हाँ,
वहाँ नेट भी नहीं और मोबाइल भी नहीं सर।
अरे
मैं सुबह 3 बजे से उठ के भड़बड़ा रहा हूँ कि रूम के बाहर कैसे निकलूं और कैसे मैं वो सर्कुलेट करूं।
जी
तब वो की।
जैसे मैंने बैनर देखा, फिर मैंने अब फीवर्स कह दिया, अब जाओ, मुझे बोलना है, गला भी थोड़ा ठीक हो जाए, नहीं तो बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, हम ही लोग आपस में भी नहीं बोल पाए तो कैसे काम चलेगा। बहुत तो, और मैंने फिर उसके बाद 200-250 लोगों को सर्कुलेट कर दिया था, जिससे कि ज्यादा लोग जुड़े। आज लोग त्योहार के चक्र में जुड़ नहीं पाए, शायद सुन लेंगे जरूर। अच्छा, नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार,
थैंक यू सर। नाउ स्टेज इज योर सर। आज इस फास्टिंग वाले विषय पे, जन्माष्टमी वाले विषय पे सर्वप्रथम जगदीश्वर जी को बुलाने का, उनका नाम ही जगदीश्वर है, कृष्ण के अवतार है वो। जब बात करते हैं साधना की बात करते हैं। वेलकम जगदीश्वर जी।
नमस्कार दादा जी। सभी को मेरा विनम्र प्रणाम।
प्रणाम प्रणाम सर, तबीयत ठीक है?
एकदम आराम।
जी जी सर, आपकी आवाज धीमी सुनाई पड़ी, मैंने कही तबीयत ठीक है। जय भोलेनाथ, आपका आशीर्वाद चाहिए सर।
एक तो वर दिया है बाबा ने, आनंद मूर्ति जी ने, सभी लोगों के लिए 15 दिन को एक बार एकादशी के दिन उपवास रखना। उपवास रखने का एकदम स्ट्रेट अवे एन ऑर्डर accepted in Ananda Marga, especially on the day of 11th of the moon. And usually by observing fasting, there are only 2 lines to be followed, either with water or without water. In general, if at all any ailment is there for whom, some diabetes patient and hypertension patients, and in some other cases of calculus disorders, those people are allowed to take liquid juices, that's all, but no question of taking any solid items on the day of Upavasa. I say Upavasa. Strictly speaking, fasting in Sanskrit is called, as in application, Nirashana, not taking food. Whereas Upavasa is a broader sense of observation, strictly keeping one away from the daily duties of intaking or attending. Both are restricted to come near to the ideation of Paramatman, then it is called Upavasa. In the sense of that Upavasa, especially when it is said to observe on the day of 11th of the moon, because on the day of 11th of the moon in a structural way, the planet Chandrama will be near to Prithvi, moon will be near to Earth on 11th of the day only. That is why if you observe on the day of 11th of the moon, your total digestive system will get exhausted by the coolness of the Chandrama and Prithvi, and the whatever water content residing in the digestive system, that also get evaporated, like on the day of moon, full moon, in the rivers, some kind of that means vaporization due to coolness, vaporization of the surface of the water of the rivers takes place. Likely, when we observe, the day 11th of the moon, when this vaporization touches the upper part of the body, especially to the heart, then it reduces the heart ailments, especially clarified. And the greater clarification, much more, is very effectively on the day of observance of Upavasa, when you do not give any kind of food to your body or intaking, the live cells will be active in consuming. When in catabolic and anabolic activities, if some cells are dead, which become accumulated in the body, that will remain for long time if you do not observe Upavasa like this. On the day of Upavasa, the live cells consume the dead cells and they become healthy. This is very, that means analytical aspect which can be researched, I say, because for modern science, everything is necessary for research. That is why on an occasion, so many, in my mobile, I was hearing about so many Swamijis explaining the necessity of need of observation of upavasa, that it reduces cancer. There will not be any possibility of one becoming victim to the cancer. And those dead cells, if they are accumulated much in the body, will cause and become cancerous. That is why upavasa helps in a greater extent. And at the same time, those who observe upavasa, the longevity will be restored. It is also said. Longevity does not mean that one is granted if upavasa is done. Of course, it is a lila of Paramatman. By what and what time he gives birth on the earth, and at what and what time he takes out. It is his lila. But the thing is, this longevity mean healthy life, healthy life. That's why for all the people, 11th day of the moon is a celestial day for observance of upavasa. And whosoever and whichever religion do consult, do not consult, it is least bothered. But in a scientific way, it is very, very celestial day to observe for upavasa. And for Amavasya and Purnima, these two are left especially for sannyasins. Though those who renounce this world, renounce does not mean that sannyasa does not mean that running away to the caves or jungles. It is not like that. Sannyasa means sat plus nyasaha. But they will be free from the families for the society's sake, social sake. They are quite instructed to observe on those 2 days also, on one Amavasya and the another Purnima. Likely, it is a must out of 16 points an Ananda Margi should follow. Fasting is very, very essential and given much stress to observance. Thank you very much. And one more thing, at this juncture, I am citing, on the day of Upavasa, my Gurudeva explained that on that particular day only, the secretion of the pineal glands will be much more. That is called Amrita Rasa, Amrita Pan. उस दिन जो है ना अमृत पान होता है जीव के लिए, especially for human being. Thank you very much.
Very nice, sir. You have religiously explained everything. Very good.
दादाजी यहाँ पर religiously का जरूरत नहीं है, scientifically, because Anand Marga does not consider anything of religion perspective. Dharma is different and religion is different. Always I refer about these two things. Dharma is no way concerned with the religion.
अग्निहोत्री जी,
नमस्कार। बड़ा तसल्ली हुई प्रोफेसर नेमा जी। जब तक हम लोग बुला पाते हैं तो अक्सर लेट हो जाते हैं, तो हम लोग उनके आशीर्वचन प्राप्त करने से वंचित रहते थे। आज आपने अच्छा किया कि क्योंकि कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी का दिवस भी है और विषय भी बड़ा ऐसा है जिस पर उनकी अथॉरिटेटिवली टॉक हमें मिलनी थी। बहुत ही कायदे से समझा दिया और मुझे अच्छा लगा। एक्चुअली एक शब्द और हमारे मनीषी लोग कहते हैं अक्सर कि एकादशी का व्रत यदि महिलाएं करती हैं तो वो तब तक नहीं कर सकती जब तक उनके पतियों की राय न हो। पता नहीं इसके पीछे कहते हैं कि पति की राय अगर उनकी कंसेंट सहमति है तभी महिलाओं को एकादशी का व्रत करना चाहिए, नहीं तो नहीं करना चाहिए। हम किसी कंट्रोवर्सी में नहीं जा रहे, ऐसा हमने अक्सर जो सुबह जब कभी ज्योतिष के ये लोग बोलते हैं महापुरुष लोग तो चर्चा में आया है, क्योंकि उनका कहना यह है कि उसका किया हुआ परिवार को लगता है या पति को लगता है, तो इसलिए पति की सहमति होनी आवश्यक। ऐसा एक विषय है। अब मैं नहीं चाहता कि उसमें कोई वो बने, कोई बेतंडाबाद बने, लेकिन आनंद मागी जी के, अपने आनंद मूर्ति जी के जो स्पष्टीकरण आपने साइंटिफिक अप्रोच दी कि विशेष रूप से एकादशी का दिन जो 11th डे ऑफ लूनर मंथ होगा, वो बहुत अच्छा लगा कि चूंकि मंदाग्नि की स्थिति होती है इसलिए ऑब्जर्व करेंगे। तो जो पहले से लिया गया सामान्य भोजन था, कहावत भी एकादशी के लिए कहा गया है कि संध्या ते लघु भोजन कीजिए। एक हम लोगों की चर्चा में भजन में आता है कि जिस किसी भी दिन आपको फास्ट ऑब्जर्व करना है उस दिन शाम से ही हल्का भोजन लेना चाहिए। जबकि लोग सोचते हैं कल तो व्रत है, आज ठूस ठूस के खा ले तो कम से कम कल भूख नहीं लगी और कमजोरी नहीं आएगी। लेकिन नहीं, जो वैधानिक व्यवस्था जो हमारे विधि विहित है वो ये कि लघु आहार से ही होना चाहिए। और जब उसका पारणा होता है नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग तो भी लघु सुपाच्य स्वरस या उस रूप से होता है, जिससे कि अचानक से हमारा जो पाचन संस्थान है वो खराब न हो जाए और पाचन संस्थान पेय पदार्थ को पचा सके। तब जाके धीरे धीरे संसर्जन क्रम से ही हमें सामान्य भोजन पर जाना चाहिए। ये कुछ विधि विधान तो है ही किसी भी प्रकार के लंघन में। तो आपके आज के जो हमारा आपने अपने उदात्त वचन दिए और बड़ा साइंटिफिक दिया, बात रिलीजियस की उतनी नहीं जितनी की साइंटिफिक टर्मिनोलॉजी में और उसके आर्गुमेंट और फाउंडेशन पर, उसके बैकग्राउंड पर समझ में आने वाली बात है, वो बहुत अच्छी लगी। आपका बहुत ही हृदय से बहुत बहुत आपका आभार, धन्यवाद आपका। अब चूंकि जैसे पवन जी ने कहा हम 2 ही लोग वक्ता थे और हमारे अंदर इस समय प्लेटफॉर्म से केवल 10 ही लोग हम सबको मिला के जुड़े हुए हैं। 9 बजे तक हम जा रहे हैं। गुरु जी का झा साहब का बीच हमको आशीर्वचन मिला था। तो मेरे पास आज 3 लोग हैं, 4 लोग बल्कि, उनका हम चर्चा चाहेंगे। सबसे पहले तो वैद्य राजन पटंकर जी के हम विचार चाहेंगे, क्योंकि अभी वो जुड़ गए थे, फिर शायद वो भी हमारे ख्याल से अभी हैं। तो वैद्य राजन पटंकर जी, आपको हम आह्वान करते हैं, आप आइए और अपने आज के विचारों से अवगत कराइए कि आज का इस रिजुविनेशन के क्रम में फास्टिंग का क्या रोल हो सकता है, उस पर हम लोगों को मार्गनिर्देश देने का कृपा करिए। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार। आप म्यूट है जी।
हाँ, आज मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि अग्निहोत्री जी पुणे में है, थोड़े व्यस्त है, फिर भी आज जुड़ गए, तो उनको पहले धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
जी जी।
1-2 ही बातें, क्योंकि जो भी आप तीनों ने जो बातें कही, अफरीन मैडम ने, अग्निहोत्री जी ने और डोमा जी ने, तो वो उसमें सब कुछ आ गया था। एक मराठी में ऐसी कहावत है कि उपवास के दिन, मतलब स्पेशली एकादशी और दुप्पट खाशी, मतलब एकादशी के दिन ऐसा सोचा जाता है कि जो बड़ी एकादशियां है, कार्तिक और बाद में आषाढ़, तो उसमें जो बड़ी एकादशी है कि जो महाराष्ट्र में ज्यादातर फॉलो होती है, उस दिन सब इतना खाना अच्छा और सभी घी में पकाया हुआ, और उसमें कि जो अपने यहाँ का नहीं है ऐसा साबूदाना और आलू और ये सब जो चीजें खाई जाती है, तो उसका आजकल के नए हिसाब से उसमें देखा जाए तो वो उपवास हम लोग नहीं कह सकते।
जी
तो
जी।
हाँ, तो मेरे पिताजी कहते थे कि हर दिन, क्योंकि हमको ये मालूम पड़ता है कि यहाँ हमारा पेट भर गया है, तो उसके आगे के जो 2 या 3 निवाले रहते हैं, वो जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि एक्यूमुलेटिंग डिपॉजिट, वैसे जो जमा हो जाता है, वो भी अगर हर दिन नहीं करेंगे तो वो एक तरह का उपवास के जैसे हो सकता है, क्योंकि ज्यादा खाने से भी ये जो तकलीफें होती है, और आजकल के जो नए नए सब स्पेशली यंग जनरेशन में जो भी बीमारियां आ रही है, ओबेसिटी है या पीसीओडी है, तो उसको भी हम ये ऐसा फास्टिंग करने से या उपवास करने से रोक सकते हैं। और आयुर्वेद में तो लंघन के बारे में तो बहुत अच्छी बात कही है कि कोई भी ज्वर हो उसमें जो पहली चिकित्सा है वो लंघन है, या जो भी कफ की बीमारी है उसमें लंघन तो जरूरी है ही। और उसमें बाकी भी जो लंघन और उपवास है वो प्रकृति के हिसाब से अगर कोई वैद्य के सलाह से अगर किए जाए, तो जैसे डोमा जी ने कहा कि हर एकादशी को, तो बहुत ही ग्रेट। तो यही मेरा इतना ही ये कहना था, और जन्माष्टमी की आज सबको शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। हमें बड़े मन से हमने चाहा था कि आज आपके विचार मिले और मिल भी गए। आपने भी 2 ही 3 बातें कही, पिताजी का स्मरण कराया और बतलाया कि किस तरीके उनका भाव ये था कि अगर हम 2-3 वाले भूखे रह लें, कम वहीं पर अपना भोजन लेना खत्म करें, तो वो जो लंबे समय वाले नहीं ले सकते हैं, आधे दिन का भी जो उपवास नहीं कर सकते हैं, उनके लिए चल जाएगा। और हमारे यहाँ व्यवस्था भी शायद अर्ध सौहित्य वाली भी यही कही गई थी कि भोजन से हमें पूरा आमाशय नहीं भरना है। और सच बात है, अगर हम थाली से आधी रोटी की भूख से उठना शुरू कर दें, तो कभी भी कहते हैं ना, जो तू अनखायो रहे तो से को अनखाए, तो जो है कम खाने से बीमारी नहीं बनती है, अधिक खाने से ही होती है। बहुत अच्छा कहा। और दूसरा आपने बात चर्चा की, वो तो प्रत्यक्ष है ही है कि ज्वरादो लंघनम प्रोक्ता, कहा ही गया कि ज्वर की चिकित्सा में लंघन है और लंघनम आम पाचनम। तो दोनों सी बातें, आम पाचन के लिए अगर हम लंघन कर लेते हैं तो हमें आमज व्याधियां नहीं होंगी और आमवात तक हम होने से बच जाएंगे। तो नियम यही है। तो बड़ा ये हमारा वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोण जो स्वास्थ्य के क्रम में है और चिकित्सा व्यवस्था क्रम में है, वो तो स्थापित अपने वैज्ञानिकता को स्थापित करता ही है। और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, ये बिल्कुल सत्य है। हमेशा से अल्प आहार में, और ये निर्देश कितनी बार कहा गया है, हितबुक मितबुक, है ना, उसमें साफ साफ स्पष्ट रूप से कह दिया गया है कि वैद्यानाम शारदी माता पिचाचा कुसुमाकरा यम दृष्टा सुषाभुक्ता हितभुक मितभुक रिपुहु। जो मिथ खाने वाले हैं वो निश्चित रूप से वैद्य के शत्रु, अर्थात वो बीमार नहीं पड़ते। प्रोफेसर गुरु जी के दर्शन हो गए हैं, प्रोफेसर सीवी झा साहब मौजूद। हम चाहेंगे कि वो अपना, अगर दैनिक चर्या के अंतर्गत शयनकाल हो रहा होगा तो आपके आशीर्वचन ले लेते हैं। फिर हम आपकी शिष्या और हम सबके साथी मीना मैडम को भी बुलाना चाहेंगे। गुरु जी प्रणाम। प्रोफेसर झा साहब प्रणाम।
सर मुझे क्या
नहीं झा साहब है हमारे पास
में।
जी सर।
और जो रिजुविनेशन की बात है, तो निश्चित रूप से कि जब हम अग्नि को, उपवास से जब हम अग्नि को रिजुविनेट करते हैं तो बाकी अग्नि आगे की प्रक्रिया को पूरा करता है।
जी जी।
और आयुर्वेद पढ़ने पढ़ाने वाले तो उपवास के महत्व को, अग्नि के महत्व को, लंघन के महत्व को खूब अच्छी तरह से समझते हैं, जानते हैं। और इसके लाभालाभ को तो मैंने तो खास व्याधि जो हमारे आचार्यों ने कहा है वो गिनाया था कि अक्षी कुक्षी भवा रोगा प्रतिस्याय वर्णा ज्वरा पंचैते पंचरात्रे न रोगा नश्यन्ति लंघनात्। ये लंघन से, उपवास से, फास्टिंग से, पांच दिन की फास्टिंग से ये सारे रोग नियंत्रित होते हैं, नियंत्रण में आते हैं। तो ज्यादा और इस बारे में बहुत चर्चाएं हो चुकी हैं। मैडम ने तो हर पक्ष को सामने रखा, कहा था कि आयुर्वेद से ही, आयुर्वेद के साथ या आयुर्वेद से बोल रही हूँ, कुछ इस तरह का अनुभूति करा रही थी वो। तो आयुर्वेद में चूंकि ये सारी चीजें कही गई हैं और उन्हीं का आधुनिक दृष्टि से, जितने भी फिजियोलॉजी की दृष्टि से हो या पैथोलॉजी की दृष्टि से हो, धार्मिक दृष्टि से हो, सब एक तरह से उसका समर्थन हो रहा था। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं भी सब लोगों को जन्माष्टमी की शुभकामना देता हूँ और विराम लेता हूँ।
सर गुरुजी सर आज हमारा सौभाग्य है, हमारी प्रस्तुति पर भी आप दो शब्द तो कहिए कम से कम। हमें आज अभी अवसर मिला हुआ है, कहाँ मौका मिलता है। जी सर।
क्या चीज?
मेरी प्रस्तुति पर भी तो आपके आशीर्वचन आवश्यक हैं।
बहुत बढ़िया, आपने भी जो जितने भी पक्ष थे उसके, उन सभी पक्षों को आपने भी बड़ा बढ़िया उजागर किया। और हमें लगता है कि जो आज का विषय था वो अब कहीं से कुछ उसमें छू नहीं रहा है। हर पक्ष, मैडम ने तो पूरा सब अपना किया, उसके बाद जो बाकी बकाया आपने भी सब बातों को, हर पक्ष को उजागर किया, बढ़िया से प्रस्तुत किया। आपको भी बहुत बहुत मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ इसके लिए।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम सर, धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत आभार आपका, बहुत बहुत आभार। इसी क्रम में आज बहुत दिनों बाद हमारी प्रोफेसर मीना आहूजा जी आज हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म से जुड़ी हुई हैं। हालांकि आज बड़ा व्रत का त्योहार का दिन है, तो हम चाहेंगे कि अभी गुरुजी बोले हैं, प्रोफेसर झा साहब बोले हैं, तो डॉक्टर मीना आहूजा जी आज आप आज की वेबिनार पर अपने कुछ विचार रखने की कृपा करिए। स्वागत है आपका डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर मीना आहूजा जी। हाँ प्रोफेसर मीना आहूजा जी, आपको हमारी आवाज सुनाई पड़ रही है? आप प्लीज ज्वाइन करिए, अनम्यूट करिए अपने को। नमस्कार। हरिओम।
हरिओम सर, हरिओम
जी। मीना आहूजा जी प्लेटफॉर्म पर हैं, दिख रहे हैं। इस बीच हम डॉक्टर दिनेश, हाँ आ रहे हैं क्या? इसमें डॉक्टर दिनेश कुमार दास जी भी बहुत दिनों बाद जुड़े हुए हैं। डॉक्टर दिनेश जी, थोड़ा सा आज के वेबिनार पर थोड़ा अपना विचार रखिए। डॉक्टर दिनेश कुमार दास जी, आपका स्वागत है, नमस्कार। आप में से जो भी पहले जल्दी जुड़े हैं, डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर मीना आहूजा जी और डॉक्टर दिनेश कुमार जी, अभी देखिए 9 बज गया है, हम जल्दी कंक्लूड करना चाहेंगे क्योंकि सभी लोग अपने पूर्व के आयोजित कार्यक्रमों में जुड़े होंगे, क्योंकि इस समय जन्माष्टमी कहीं कहीं आज मनाई जा रही, कहीं कल मनाई जाएगी। जिनको आज मनाना है वो अपने जन्मोत्सव की तैयारी में लग गए होंगे। तो इससे पहले आज के इस डिस्कशन के पूरे प्लेटफॉर्म को हम डॉक्टर पवन शर्मा जी को।
नमस्कार सर। नमस्कार।
जी दिनेश जी बोलिए। नमस्कार, नमस्कार बोलिए जी सर, आइए।
नमस्कार सर।
जी स्वागत है सर, नमस्कार नमस्कार।
जी सर, बहुत दिन बाद सर आपको फ्री नहीं हो पा रहे थे, इसीलिए
तभी तो हम आपको बुलाए हैं, देख के हम आपको लिस्ट में देख के तुरंत बुला लिए। बताइए साहब, बताइए आज आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
म्यूट हो गए।
हाँ फिर वही तो आवाज आ रही थी अभी।
हाँ पर म्यूट हो गया अभी फिर से।
डॉक्टर दिनेश जी, हाँ आएंगे 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 आएंगे।
हाँ सर, यस सर।
जी आज की वेबिनार पर अपने विचार रखिए।
आज का वेबिनार तो बहुत अच्छा था सर।
आप सुने ना,
का जो बताया गया है कि कैसे। हेलो सर।
जी आवाज आ रही, बताइए बताइए।
आज का वेबिनार तो अच्छा था सर। डाइट को कैसे हम लोग यूज करेंगे, आहार का सेवन कैसे करना चाहिए, कितना करना चाहिए,
जी
इसके बारे में अच्छी जानकारी मिले सर।
आप वहीं पटना में है, बिहार में ही?
जी पटना में है सर।
जी सुनीता जी भी जुड़ी हुई थी, सुनीता पांडे जी जुड़ी थी पटना से, अभी वो नहीं प्लेटफॉर्म दिख रही है। जी हाँ, वो थी, शुरू में थी वो।
हाँ जी शुरू में थी।
अच्छा, इस बीच हमारी अपने असम से डॉक्टर नीलाक्षी देव चौधरी जी मैडम आ गई हैं। मैडम जी, दिनेश जी आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और कोई आपको कुछ और जोड़ना हो, कुछ बताना हो तो?
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं सर।
अच्छा नमस्कार, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका जुड़ने का। डॉक्टर नीलाक्षी देव चौधरी जी जुड़ गई हैं। मैडम आपका स्वागत है, कुछ आज के वेबिनार अपना विचार रखिएगा।
हाँ सर, गुड इवनिंग सर। मैं थोड़ा देर से अटेंड किया, मैं ठीक से सुनाई नहीं पड़ा अभी सर, थोड़ा देर से अटेंड किया सर, सॉरी।
अरे आपको जुड़ना चाहिए टाइम से, आज तो मेरी भी स्पीच था।
नहीं मैं सोचा 8:30 सोचा, गलती से मेरे कहीं 7:45 हो गया।
अच्छा थोड़ा ज्वाइनिंग में ये हुआ, बीच में थोड़ा डिस्टरबेंस भी हो गया था। आज का 7 to 9 रखा था।
ओहो सॉरी सर। मैं
और ज्वाइनिंग और वो लिंक भी थोड़ा देर से भेज पाए थे, करीब 1 बजे के आसपास लिंक आया था, 1 बजे के आसपास। कोई नहीं, फिर भी जो सुना है, नहीं ना सुना हो तो और अच्छा है, बिना सुने बताइए तो आपका बहुत मौलिक विचार आएंगे।
लेकिन मैं जब देखा सर अग्निहोत्री सर फास्टिंग के बारे में, हाउ टू रिजुविनेट, उसके लिए मैं बहुत इंटरेस्टेड था। सर उनका बेनिफिट्स और द प्रोसीड्यूर, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जस्ट लाइक लंघन कर्म। लंघन में सर जुड़ी थे ना उनका, so it will help in healing our intestinal gastrointestinal tract system and eliminating all the toxins and help in the digestive functions. And it will also help in relieving arm of the body. And I feel it will especially help in rheumatoid arthritis, because when there's a lot of pain, you have to remove the toxins. And we saw in when I was doing Panchakarma treatment, IPD cases, we saw that there was a patient in Ambat was having extreme pain. So then the diet was stopped only with water, lukewarm water, and there was a lot of there was drastic improvement in pain. So fasting, GI tract. लेकिन सर आपका टॉक YouTube में सर फिर से सुनना पड़ेगा। And
जी
he's
जी, थैंक यू मैम। एक चीज में और कहना है कि आप डेली जुड़ते रहिए और थोड़ा लिंक देख के। दूसरे, अभी मुश्किल से अब 12 दिन बचे हैं अपने अगस्त महीने में। आप सितंबर महीने में अपने इंटरेस्ट का टॉपिक डे के अनुसार अभी से तय कर लीजिए, सो दैट हमारे पास स्पीकर्स का रेगुलर जो है वो स्टॉक बना रहे और हम बड़े आदर के साथ में प्रतिदिन अपने गेस्ट स्पीकर्स को इसी तरीके से आमंत्रित करते रहें, जिससे कि जो वेबिनार की जो हमारी जो श्रृंखला है वो नॉन स्टॉप कंटिन्यू बनी रहे। तो मैं अपने सभी स्पेक्टेटर्स, गेस्ट स्पीकर्स और अपने प्लेटफॉर्म से जुड़े हुए सभी डिग्निटी से एक ही रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, एक तो अपना वो लिंक जिनका नहीं डाला है वो अपने माने मोबाइल नंबर या ईमेल आईडी चैट बॉक्स में दे दें, और साथ में अपने नेक्स्ट टॉक के लिए अपने को टॉपिक वाइज, डेट वाइज भी तैयार रखें और हमें इंटीमेट कर सकें, जिससे कि ये आप लोगों की जो परंपरा है, आप लोगों की वेबिनार की ये जो कड़ी चली आ रही है, सीरीज चली आ रही है, ये अनवरत चलती रहे और ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम लोग इसमें जुड़ें और जोड़ सकें, अपने छात्रों को जोड़ें, जिससे कि जो नॉलेज का जो एक स्प्रेड होना है वो दूर दराज तक होता रहे। मेरी यही आप सबसे प्रार्थना है कि आप अपने से जुड़े हुए लोगों को इसमें लिंक भेज दिया करिए, जिससे वो जुड़ सके। आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू। अभी हम चाहेंगे अभी
Agnihotri ji, Agnihotri ji.
जी 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 सर, प्रणाम। बताइए बताइए।
Little clarification I am giving that
जी।
always upavasa should be observed sunrise to sunrise.
गुड गुड, यस सर। इट्स
That is called in Sanskrit ahoratra.
अहोरात्र।
अहोरात्र, अहो मांस ने दिन और रात दोनों मिल करके अहोरात्र बोला जाता है।
अहोरात्र गुरुजी, अहोरात्र मीन्स 24 आवर्स, अहर्निशम।
24 आवर्स ही अहोरात्र, माने दिन और रात मिला करके। अगर हम अपन डेट लेकर के दिए तो इंग्लिश सिस्टम में जो मिडनाइट 1 बजे से दूसरा मिडनाइट वो मिला करके ये एक दिन माना जाता है। इसीलिए आनंद मूर्ति जी ने क्लैरिफाई किया, दिस इज रॉन्ग, इट इज परफेक्टली नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल इन संस्कृत टर्मिनोलॉजी अहोरात्र। तो इसीलिए जो सनराइज टू सनराइज ही होता है एक दिन, दिनमान इसको बोलते हैं, दिनमान। उन्होंने बोले दिनमान। अगर बोले पुराने जमाने में जब संस्कृत का ठीक अपनाया जाता था, मान ही बोला जाता था।
जी जी,
उतना ही। तो दिन माने फिर डे होता है, रात नहीं होता है। लेकिन वहां पर दिनमान का मतलब ये होता है कि ये दिन पूरा रात पूरा, सनराइज टू सनराइज, दिस इज ऑब्जर्वेंस। एंड whereas for other religions I am not taking because
सर आई गॉट सर, आई गॉट आप कह रहे हैं सनराइज टू सनराइज,
sunrise to sunrise.
Okay, I got. Then it is okay. Unfortunately, I thought sunrise to sunset. That's why I told that it will be only
No,
for
no,
12
no,
hours.
no.
Oh,
If
okay,
it is
okay.
observed sunrise to sunset, sunrise to sunset on the day of bereaved माने जो कोई देहांत हुए सो दिन ऑब्जर्वेंस को होता है, वो सनसेट के बाद खाते हैं, सनराइज टू सनसेट।
Very good, sir.
ये नियम है, ये नियम है।
Very clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very, it's very clear.
इसीलिए आप जो ट्रेडिशनली बताए कि नारियों के लिए ये नियम बनाए थे कि वो लोग परमिशन लेना अपना पति से, माने वो विषाद समझ करके वो लोग ट्रेडिशनली वैसा अपनाए। सुपरस्टिशियस, इट इज वेरी सुपरस्टिशियस, अंधविश्वास, अंधविश्वास था वो, ऐसा नहीं है। लेकिन विषाद का दिन तो सनराइज टू सनसेट ऑब्जर्व करना पड़ता है।
Right. Very, very clear. So thank you. So kind of you. I just was having a little bit confusion. You made very clear. This is what the 24 hours. Yeah. Aharnish, Dinman. And Man, Magad Man, Kaling Man. For the measurement, Man word was very much in practice. So
Man itself is sufficient to calculate the day and night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man ही बोला।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I think, Madam Professor Meena Ahuja ji, if you just listening us, I want to have some few words from you, or else it is 10 past 9. So we would like to hand over the mic and platform to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji, as he is also very much busy and tiresome. So he would like to say, give a conclusion to today's webinar. Time is already over. Thank you, sir. Thank you so kindly. Platform
I
is
am
yours.
in Indore. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I am in Indore here with Mr. Rajesh Sethia, President of Ayush Nirmata Sangh.
Yeah, yeah.
नमस्कार साहब
Hello, namaskar.
नमस्कार
Please. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Please,
हाँ सर
please
बहुत
come
बढ़िया
on.
सर
Come
आपसे
on with
मुलाकात
the
हुई
word. Come on with the
बस
word.
शर्मा जी के जरिए आपसे मुलाकात हुई तो हमें बहुत खुशी है इस बात की
जय हो, जय हो, जय हो.
और
Please.
शर्मा जी के साथ ही प्रदेश में का बड़ा सम्मेलन कर रहे हैं आयुष का तो सर के साथ आप सबको ही बधाना है सर
अरे वाह.
है ना सर
अब
बधाइए
हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में तो हम कुछ जानते ही नहीं. हम तो बनी बनाई खाते हैं. हम तो बनी बनाई खाते हैं.
आप लोगों के पीछे तो हम बना रहे हैं
बनाते आप लोग हैं.
हाँ तो इसीलिए कह रहे हम तो आप ही लोगों के पीछे बना रहे हैं सर.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
जी.
Thank you for joining today. Thank you. So today I hope it is the right time to say good night. Tomorrow is unique photography for one expert photographer and one from Department of Community Medicine again will guide us on unique photography, and day after tomorrow on new amendment bill, what I circulated to all. Now definition of Ayurveda has been changed.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the new bill. We Ayurvedic persons should read it carefully. Manufacturer, regulators should read it carefully that what has been included in Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, various things are included. So now for valedictory remarks, I would like to request Parikshit. Already happened, Parikshit. Dr. Parikshit, are you here?
Meanwhile, I just want to extend my thanks and regards to the great dignitaries who joined today, and then Dr. Parikshit ji will conclude because that list is with me. He might be having. So our respect means the respect from our webinar side, from all the organizers towards Professor B.P. Sharma ji, Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma ji, Dr. Parul Sharma who joined from Haridwar, Professor C.V. Jha Guru ji, Professor Meena Ahuja ji, Dr. Anup ji, Dr. Jagdishwar Doma ji, Dr. Satyapal Sharma ji, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Das ji, Dr. Mallikarjun Rao ji, Dr. Narendra Dutt Tiwari ji, Dr. Ravi Gogia ji, Dr. Sumita Pandey ji, Vaidya Rajan Patankar ji, and while once Vaidya Kamlesh Sharma ji from Jaipur, he also joined today, but by the end of our webinar, we left only 9. So now I, along with our respected guest speaker, Dr. Begum Affrin Jamal from JORHAT. So paying respect and regards to all these persons and greetings to our guest speaker, I would like to request Dr. Parikshit Devnath ji to please complete the rest of the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Agnihotri sir. It's been a pleasure for us to host such a awesome program. And today's main discussion was on basically fasting. How fasting helps to rejuvenate. So I'll thank the organizers, especially Dr. Pawan Sharma sir, and very much thankful to Agnihotri sir for hosting today's program, also giving the guest speech.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And also Vishnu Prasad Sharma sir was present here. Thank you to him and all distinguished guests who were present here, and mainly our speaker, Dr. Affrin. Thank you all for being present here, and hopefully we'll see you again for our 438th webinar very soon. And by this,
उनकी फोटो बहुत आई है।
And thank you all and good night and greetings for Janmashtami for tomorrow. Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय श्री
शुभ रात्रि,
कृष्ण,
सभी को प्रणाम, नमस्कार।
शिवरात्रि।